Welcome to the show, it's just the facts. Where we break it down, don't hold them back. Don't get in your feelings, cause it's only the facts. We got all the tea on them relationships. We gon' break it down and shatter all the myths. Talk about mindset goals, growth, and money tips. We gon' break it down and keep it all legit. Heart, my body, soul.
Bing, bop, boom, boom, bop, bam. It's hoodie season. Get yours now.
Yo, check. Today is the long awaited day of the Diddy sentencing, this Diddy saga ending. And today we get to find out how much time your boy get, man. Today we get to find out if the man gonna get the whole 10 or 14 months. Prosecution recommend 11 years. His defense team recommend 14 months. Cassie wrote a letter. Young Miami wrote a letter. Obviously, Diddy wrote a letter. Family wrote letters. We're gonna see if this is if any of this stuff gonna sway the people's minds into what his sentence is gonna be. As of 10:05, actually 10:15, I believe they just brought Combs in with a white shirt. He put his papers under the table, leans back, blows a kiss to the gallery. His mother, Brian, still standing next to him, you know. So we almost there, guys. We about to we gonna watch this. I'm gonna watch this Law and Crime where they're covering it for right now, because you know in the Fed court they ain't gonna put you on live TV. It ain't no cameras allowed. But I do want to get some following on it. I do want to get some coverage on it before we break free. I'm gonna be talking about some other stuff while in the midst, though. I don't want to get too bogged down with this, to be honest. But
for people who are in support of Diddy, right? I mean, Young Miami's name was mentioned many times throughout this trial, or at least in the coming up to the trial, and she wrote a letter in support as well, right? So I imagine
how many years y'all think she gonna get? How many years y'all think he gonna get?
Okay, so we have an update from court. All rise. This has begun. Clerk, this is U.S. versus Sean Combs. Judge Subramanian says, do we have the signed order of forfeiture? Prosecutor Slavic says, yes, I am handing it up. Judge, first I'll go over that. I have received and the pre-sentencing reports. I'll hear from the parties. So we're getting underway right now. We have a poll up. Do you think Diddy will walk out a free man today?
No.
58% say no.
No.
23% say yes.
No.
19% say hard to say.
No.
So Joe, Fabiola Delgado Lebron says, Joe, I took your advice on the glasses. Mine haven't been clear. There you go. There we go. Glasses became a big part of our.
I think I made a bet on this. I think they're gonna make an example of him because he's such a public image, a public figure, and if they let him walk free, then that's gonna entice other people to think that it's sweet to do the same certain type of things. And they're gonna have the Diddy defense, even though you ain't gonna have the Diddy defense team. You're gonna have the Diddy defense, and it ain't gonna work that way. It's not gonna work out for you. So I think they're gonna get that, man. They're gonna get
crazy.
Anyway,
I bet 10 plus.
Yeah. Okay. Do you feel there is a possibility
right now
that Diddy will be able to walk away today due to time served? I mean, I don't think it's going to be, even if he gets time served, like he just walks out of the courtroom like it's Law and Order. He actually has to be processed, right?
Yeah, he does. I mean, he wouldn't walk out that very moment. But the question would be, could he get a time served situation where technically all he would have to do is process to come out? And although it's possible, I don't think it's probable. I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think he's going to get out today. I think he's going to get some amount of time, more than what the defense is asking for. Clearly, the defense, of course, is going to ask low. Prosecution is going to ask high. The judge is going to wind up somewhere between the two. There's a question as to which one he'll wind up closer to. Right? Does he wind up in that 4 to 6, 5 to 7 range? That would be the sentencing guideline. Or is this a situation where, because of how unusual it is,
unless your boy Diddy then wrote him a letter and told him I'd slide you a couple of M's if you let me out, but then he probably pushing for more trouble if he do some shit like that.
Because of the magnitude of who Sean P. Diddy becomes, is he winds up lower or higher. I mean, those things can cut both ways. But even if he were to get free, as it were, he would still have to process out. So he wouldn't walk out that very moment, with Diddy music playing in the background. I mean, it would completely undermine, by the way, this whole idea of being somber, of being sorry, of being regretted, things like that. I think he'd have to be concerned about that as well. Even if he does get out, he would need to be somber and need to be humble, because otherwise he becomes this person that he was before. And this becomes a thing that makes everybody go, the people particularly that feared for their safety, et cetera, that were sympathetic to Cassie and others, oh, here we go again.
That's a good point. We have an update from court. Judge says, I've received the defense's reply memo of October 2nd and the letter from Mr. Combs and the video, which we're showing you right now, and the video the defense plans to play here in court. I appreciated the letters. I've received the government's letters from Miss Ventura and others, meaning, the victims in this case. I appreciate them. Now, Aaliyah, I don't know what to take away from when he says, I appreciate them. Does it signify that he's thinking about them? Does it signify that he's going to use it in his calculus, his determination, his analysis, or he just says, hey, listen, I appreciate them submitting them?
I think the judge is very particular in the words that he used. I think by saying I appreciate them, he's acknowledging that he's received them, that he's reviewed them, and that he is going to take those letters into consideration. I think I appreciate is a better word than I've reviewed, acknowledged, and understand. It's a very short way of saying, hey, I got them. Hey, I'm looking into them. Hey, I'm gonna consider them when making my decision, but I'm not gonna say I'm considering them while making my decision.
We have an update for you, okay? Sierra, I'm going to throw this to you. So Sean Combs' defense attorney says we're going to submit a course evaluation from MDC, where he's been housed. Prosecutor Slavic says we don't have a copy. The judge says, please give her one. Put that to the side. Prosecutor Slavic just announced Mia no longer wishes to address the court here today, in part due to the letter submitted by the defense bullying. Sierra, that is a big update that Mia apparently will no longer make a statement in court, because we know the defense was trying to object to her testimony, object to her statement. The prosecution did accuse them of bullying her and, characterizing her in a certain way. We can talk back and forth about her testimony during the course of this trial, whether or not it helped or hurt the prosecution. But the fact that she is apparently no longer going to make a statement in court, apparently because of what the defense said in their letter, your reaction to that?
I mean, this isn't the first time that we've heard this sort of argument from the prosecution, right? If we go back to the trial, they were saying how important it was for these women, these survivors, to come forward, not just for this case, but for any sort of case across the entire country when we're talking about sexual assault allegations. And essentially what they said is they have seen bullying, they have seen coercion, they have seen threats, all from Diddy and his team. And again, these were allegations, but basically the prosecutors say, from the start, you guys have been bullying all of these survivors into not coming forward. That's what happened with Gina. Now, of course, we do know what Gina says now. She says that it was prosecutors, actually, conversely, who were the ones who were kind of making her feel as though she was a victim. But here, this allegation that Mia has been bullied by the defense, I mean, I guess we should pay attention to it and put some sort of weight into it, because if Mia truly does feel that her safety is at risk here, that's very important to consider.
Well, damn. So I kind of was thinking that it would be a bad thing if Mia didn't want to show up because of this, but it sounded like it might be a good thing if they're trying to get more time added to Diddy's sentence, because like if everybody's talking about they scared of him and his retaliation, do the judge take precedence to that? Do he think about this? Do he take this into consideration?
Because she does have the right to be able to speak, and it's very important that she would be heard. But I mean, I'm very interested to see what the defense has to say about all of this, because
we got some tea real quick. What do you say? What just happened? So Young from a missavic. Rule 32 only applies if the party the victim. The court within is his right exclude character witness. Okay, that's the same thing. I can allow them correct as I overturn the defense here. Let's read it together, guys. As I overturn the defense wanting to exclude Mia within your discretion, Mr. Steele, okay for the children, and Dr. Johnson Steele, Reverend Doctor, Judge, I'll think about the others. What we got going on? What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? What they call it?
How they fought back against Mia. Judge says, I thought the tone was inappropriate and it should not happen again. Anyone beyond Mr. Combs? Brian Steele, one of Sean Combs' defense attorney, says the Reverend and Mr. Combs' children will come up and stand together. So it appears we're going to hear
send a song to my
of this hearing.
You can send a song to my email. I'm gonna post it right here. I ain't doing I'm not doing that right now. I'm not doing music reviews right now or whatnot, but I will get to it later for sure. You just send it to my email and I'll get to it. I'll probably do it on, I'll probably stream it tonight.
Very interesting. So Stilo Suave, have any of the letters in Combs' trial been made public yet? Yes, you can see all of them. They're all out there. I was reading the one from Sean Combs as well. Aaliyah, question from Words 789. Why is P. Diddy allowed to wear civilian clothing when he's already been convicted and is in custody?
It's really just about presentation.
Yeah.
You want the judge to consider.
Who asked that dumbass question, bro? That's common sense. We already know that, bro. They not trying to have that man looking like no convict in here.
To support the community, and I want to be looked at and considered as such.
Going back to questions as we wait for more updates. So just submit your questions on YouTube. We'll make sure to answer them here on air. Okay, this is from Dungaroo TV. It's a good question. Joe, are there any precedents that could give us an idea of how long Combs' sentencing will be? I mean, that was battled back and forth by the prosecution and the defense in their memos, their sentencing recommendations, looking at past cases. I think it is interesting and notable to talk about the fact that he was only convicted of these crimes as opposed to these crimes in connection to an overarching racketeering conspiracy case or a sex trafficking case. There was the question about whether or not he would even be brought up on those charges, the transportation to engage in prostitution charges, what he was convicted of, if those were the only charges, if they weren't connected. But he was acquitted of the most serious charges. So when we're talking about precedent here, purely on these prostitution charges, is there precedent on what the range could or could not be?
Yeah, there's precedent on the charges themselves, but there's not precedent on this particular individual, who he is, how is how this happened. They made a very interesting argument. It was unsuccessful about saying, hey, he was just a guy that just liked to watch things happen. He should never have been convicted on even the things that he was convicted on.
See, that's where I have a problem at, because that's
it was
bullshit,
just about
bro.
the precedent. Someone
at the end of the day, the charge
is sentencing guidelines.
Sex trafficking, prostitution, or whatever. If you got a prostitute coming, from another state to another state, and you paying them to fuck your woman, whether you fucking them yourself or whether they fucking somebody that you know, but you paid them for the service. I mean, at the end of the day, that's what that is. You feel me? There's no way around that. I don't really understand that conversation.
Or 4 to 6, 5 to 7, right in there, and the parties wouldn't be deviating from them too much, right? But that's what's so amazing about this. What's being asked for is so divergent. I think it suggests that either there's no precedent at all, or there's distinguishing elements that say you should deviate very high or very low from what the charges themselves.
Let's read this update real quick. 3 minutes ago, 1 minute ago. So the judge says, now as to the objection, defense has acquitted conduct cannot be considered. There is no guidance from any court on this. We do not know what the jury was thinking, but it's about overlapping conduct and it only impacts the advisory guidelines range. Okay. Acquitted conduct can be considered. See US versus Vaughn, 2D circuit, and other cases. Even matters that cannot be considered for the guidelines can be considered under 3553A. Now the US objections, they argue for criminal sexual abuse guidelines. So I'm thinking what they're talking about right here is, so when Diddy got acquitted, or when they said no, not guilty to the Cassie, to the 50 Cent's baby mama, and then they said guilty to the sex trafficking charge, but not to the actual person's charge, it kind of made it's kind of adding muddy to the water. So the judge is trying to say, you know, y'all are objecting to this, but I can still use this as my argument or as my guideline to sentencing.
Would normally warrant under this circumstance. So there is precedent, but there isn't. I hate to talk out of two sides of my mouth here because I feel like I am, but Diddy changes everything. He makes things look different potentially, and he makes for an argument. He can say all these things that I can do in the community. The other side, the prosecutor can say all the damage he'd done because of all of the things that were brought before the court, even though he wasn't convicted of those things. There's been a whole lot of discussion from me and Gina about people, you know, acquitted conduct being considered, and all of these other things. A precedent based on the actual crimes themselves. That's a clear question. The more complicated question is, how does Diddy change the potential precedent or get rid of it altogether?
So we want to,
they got to stop going back and forth about who will be allowed to speak, in the sense that the judge says, look, I overruled the defense wanting to exclude Mia. So what about who the defense wants to call in? It seems like the judge is going to allow the children and a Dr. Johnson, this Reverend doctor, to speak as well. He's going to be thinking about the others. Okay, got a super chat question. Thank you so much. Super chat question from Free. I'll go to you, Aaliyah. This is from Free. Does Diddy get to go last with the video and the letter? So will he make the last statement and provide his letter or his statement, as well as this video that we've been playing in the background?
As we've been speaking before, I'm not sure that the video actually comes in as far as the sentencing is concerned. I think the judge saying that he received it and reviewed it is probably as much as we're going to receive regarding the video in the sentencing hearing today. I also think that it depends on the judge and his preference and what he wants to hear. Is it normal or customary for the defendant to have his statement last? Sometimes, but the judge might want to hear from the victim last. It really just depends on how this judge wants to run his courtroom.
By the way, this is such an interesting update that we just got in. The judge is talking about what he can and cannot consider. This became a big topic post-verdict and going into sentencing. And not be meaning regarding all the conduct that
so now he's about to clear up what I said.
Case and the sex trafficking charges. There was no guidance from any court on this, the judge says. We don't know what the jury was thinking, but it's about overlapping conduct, and it only impacts the advisory guidelines range. That's a good question here, right, Joe? What can the judge consider here? Can the judge consider the beating of Cassie Ventura in that 2016 tape? Did it really support the jury's findings with respect to transportation to engage in prostitution? You asked me, it seemed that it was more about, was that sex trafficking? You know, the transportation to engage in prostitution felt, was Sean Combs transporting sex workers and these victims for the purposes of sex work. If there was a money trail, voice notes, text messages, you could prove that case without even the 2016.
All right, so we got another little update real quick. He said, let's say the judge says there is little precedent on what type of threat is required, but bodily harm makes most sense. Concrete harms. To force Jane and Miss Ventura to engage in sex acts, does this conduct establish the convicted conduct? There was the flight from Kenneth, but where is the rest of it? Did that meet the requirement of bodily harm threat? There was evidence of that in the case with respect to the hotel nights and freak-offs, but in light of the constitutional questions raised, the court declines to apply the cross references. So I think they're trying to harp in on the fact of the confusion verdict that we all thought was confusing. How did you got one but didn't get the other? So let's see, because I'm pretty sure that Buddy right here about to explain it a little bit better for us. He's gonna put us on game.
How is it not arguably acquitted conduct? It's things that would go to both transportation as well as the criminal conspiracy, which he was ultimately acquitted of. How is it not crossing the line and being in that gray area there? So he's not supposed to consider acquitted conduct, but I think that there's such potential for overlap here. The judge is going to have to be really careful about what he actually does consider, what comes in, etc., in that regard. And I think that there's argument back and forth. I mean, that's why there was objections about certain people's information and letters coming in, because there's a question as to whether or not this is about the acquitted conduct for which he was not convicted. And so it's an open question. Certain things aren't supposed to get in, but there's so much crossover and overlap. I think there's gray area, and I think it can be muddy.
Sierra, we got a question from Dungaroo TV. What do you think the repercussions will be for Sean Combs after all of this blows over? I guess the question would be, putting aside the sentence, let's say he's released, let's say he gets 14 months and he's released, or let's say he gets 2 years, he's released, he comes out. What are the repercussions for him? Because he could still lead a life. He still has a career. He still has businesses. He's got over 60 lawsuits he's got to contend with. But what are the repercussions in your mind after covering Sean Combs for such a long time?
I think that this is such a good question, right? It's really why all of us are interested in the case in the first place, because to see the downfall of someone like P. Diddy, who prior to his arrest was literally receiving the key to New York City, where we are right now, and now he's behind me in federal court. I mean, it's a major fall from grace. And that begs the question, what's going to happen? I mean, he's already been in jail for more than a year at this point. Whatever happens with sentencing will happen. He'll serve his time, he'll get released, whatever. But I think the big question here is what's next for his career. I mean, we know that P. Diddy is undoubtedly very charming.
I'll be real. I told folk at the job, I say, folk, when Diddy get out, his best bet is to lay the fuck low, go find him a wife, and stay married. Don't have a divorce. Do not get divorced under any circumstances. Just stay married, stay the fuck low. That's his best bet, man. He probably can get a lot more love if he just stay the fuck out the way.
He, charmed the masses with his huge music career. On top of that, we're talking about some of the brands that he had in regards to alcohol. Then there was his clothing line. And since all of these allegations came forward and some of these civil lawsuits, he has seen a bit of issues as far as the business side of things. So I guess that's really the question. Will he be canceled from all of this? Will his career be completely gone? Honestly, I don't think so, because just being down here at the courthouse, there are still supporters for Diddy. There are still people who say, yeah, Diddy is a father figure to me. Diddy is a mentor to me. All of these things. So I think some people will make up their minds and say, I'm done listening to it. I don't want to hear anything he puts out. I'm never going to buy another Sean John item ever again. But then some people who are the diehard fans will help continue to perpetuate the future of his career. I think it's kind of a wait and see situation.
It's a good point. So again, the judge is considering whether or not acquitted conduct could be considered for purposes of sentencing. Judge said acquitted conduct can be considered. He cites a Second Circuit case and other cases, even matters that cannot be considered for the guidelines can be considered under a specific legal statute. Now, the U.S.'s objections, they argue for the criminal sexual abuse guideline. We'll learn a little bit more about this. Aaliyah, how does he tackle all of the civil lawsuits that he's facing?
Well, he has a reverend in the courtroom. Maybe he should pray about it, because that's probably the only way he's gonna get away with all these civil lawsuits. As we know, in civil court, the burden is significantly less than in criminal court. In criminal court, you have to prove that the prosecution has to prove the case beyond a reasonable doubt. In civil court, that is not the same. That is not.
So the judge says the government objects to probation, not considering Jane and Ms. Ventura as vulnerable victims. I overruled this. What made Combs' coercion effective was their condition. Anyway, the court would reach the same conclusion. Now, Mr. Combs' objections. Mr. Combs objects to characterizing Ms. Ventura and Jane as victims. That is overruled. Mr. Combs also objects to the escorts being characterized as victims. That is also overruled. They were transported for the purpose of engaging in commercial sex. So the judge is telling you, like, Nick, they were this. We not overlooking none of that, bruh. He paid for these folks to come here to do a job. The job was done. He gave them money, and they went about their business. We're not about to overrule that. We're not about to exclude that. We're not about to overlook that. That's the facts. That's what happened. That's what it is. We getting there. We finding out what the judge think about all this stuff right quick.
Not the same. It's a
hopefully they get us to this
and I think
to this verdict soon. I want to get this number. I want to hear this number. I need that.
Court will undoubtedly.
I need to win this money. I need that 10 or better. Just give me 10. I'll be a happy man with 10.
Be the foundation and the support for these civil lawsuits going forward. I think that he should call his reverend and call his accountant, and that's all I've got for that, because he's going to be fighting these for a very long time.
Look, he's trying to battle it each case at a time, or several cases at a time, basically, motions to dismiss, or saying, how can we fight against people suing him anonymously? If you can convince a court that they shouldn't proceed anonymously under a pseudonym, those people may decide, hey, you know what? I don't want to make myself public. I don't want to go further with the case. That might end it. So it's a tricky battle, and it's a lot of cases. Question, Joe, from Dropping the T. What's everyone's thoughts on what he may get? So I haven't even given my perspective here, but I'll just tell you, Joe, I'm curious your thoughts. I don't think he's getting 20 years. Okay, I don't think the judge is going to go well past. But I also have to say something that really needs to be considered here is the fact that he did this multiple times. I think that's a key point, that it wasn't a one-off. It was a pattern of doing this with sex workers, payment. It became a system. And I think whether the judge considers that, which makes it aggravated, and why we may see something closer to maybe 5 to maybe even 7 to 10 years. I mean, is that totally outside the realm of possibility, Joe?
I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility at all. Diddy was a tyrant, man. He did some things he shouldn't have done. He done them over and over again. I've said to you 1,000,000 times.
I look at it like this man did this over the span of 15 years and had no remorse in it until the moment that you get caught. So it's kind of like, I mean, it's one of those situations where no, nigga, you not sorry. You just sorry you got caught. Because if you was able to, you would be having a freak off right the fuck right now in 2025. You would have been freaking off all through 2025. A big old Labor Day freak off type shit. So it's like, come on, man. We ain't dumb out here, bro. He gonna have to wear that a little bit, even though whoever thinks that it's not illegal or don't think what he did was a crime or whatever. I mean, when you get into beating women and feeding people drugs, whether you say they had the choice to take it or not, I mean, if you got somebody basically where they feel like they're trapped in a situation, it's kind of easier to take control of them, their thinking, and the actions that they do or the things that they partake in. So we have to acknowledge the fact that, yeah, dog, Buddy was a big influence, bro. Like, regardless to whether we want to say these girls made their decisions and they could have left, we don't know too many people that's leaving billionaires, bro. It just don't happen too often, unless they really was just only in it for the bag or whatever. They still end up staying with the billionaire if they got an opportunity to stay. So like, let's be real about this shit when we talking.
I'm still trying to figure out how he didn't get convicted 20 years ago with the Shine situation. And you know, back then he goes through what he goes through. He does a religious.
Damn, you know, since he brought that up too, this almost made me think like OJ. Remember when OJ got off on the murder, but then they end up getting him for some whole other dumbass shit. This could be the whole other dumbass shit that they get this man for, because like his name been brought up in multiple other big cases where you got him involved in allegedly Tupac, you got him allegedly involved in Shine, and I think everybody under the sun know that the Shine shit is 100% like, nigga, come on, bro, that shit is real, bro. And then you got him tied to the Kim Porter situation, like it's rumors flirting around about that. I think this might be that got you, mother, got you moment. We got you for something that's worth numbers, and we're gonna give you them numbers.
Album, and you know, and I've learned my lesson, and all. We've been through all this before. We've seen. I already know what all of this is like. So there's a possibility that the judge is a little less sympathetic because of what happened and how habitually it happened. And we all kind of know that the fact that he had the resources between that and the prosecution really overshooting this thing is really how he kind of escaped. Regular you or me probably wouldn't have gotten off from these things. Okay. And so, you know, literally the judge can see there is a path. I can see a path where the judge could be pretty hard on him, because not only was he convicted of 2 crimes instead of 1, but there was, to your point, this redundant, repetitive thing. He acted lawlessly. And does he really learn his lesson if he walks out before Christmas this year? This becomes this soap opera telenovela story with this happy ending. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, Cassie and everybody else are scared to death. Their lives are ruined, destroyed. They've had to completely rebuild. There's something that might be unfair about that in the eyes of the judge. And so therefore,
so the judge says there was Jules and Paul and Cabral, Jules, Reggie, and Rico. As to coercion, when something is voluntary, it is uncompelled. That is from Black's Law Dictionary. It's a broad concept. The threat to release videos and to Jane's home. That's coercion. So the judge is once again clearing up everything that he's gathered, all of the facts that we've picked up on, everything that we know, and he's basically giving it to you in a nutshell, like from Black's Law Dictionary. For y'all folks that don't know, the Black's Law Dictionary is the dictionary for which they use the terms that they use in court. If you want to know what the hell these people in court be talking about, or what these even down to the letters that you receive from courts or tickets and things like that, all of the definitions that they're using is not from Webster's, it's not from Merriam's, it ain't from your mama's dictionary, it's from the Black's Law Dictionary. So when they say a person And your definition of a person is a you or her or a him or a person that's breathing, living, and walking. Well, no, they characterize a person in the Black's Law Dictionary as a business, item. It's a broad array of things. It's not just your understanding of what a person is. So we do want to make sure we have clarification on that for all of y'all folks that always be thinking y'all know so much about the law. Go find out about that Black's Law Dictionary. But we ain't gonna. We already read this.
Courts were characterized as victims. That is also overruled. They were transported for the purpose of engaging in commercial sex. What everybody, by the way, what anybody thinks about it, it's still a crime. It's still a crime, and it's a crime that he was.
This is funny. That man, the judge say Mr. Combs said he was paying for time, not sex. That is contradicted by reality. He has not expressed remorse for transporting people for prostitution. Combs has challenged his guilty full-throatedly, including after trial. Mr. Combs wants to apply the 0-point offender provision from 2023, but 2024 on other issues, that is not possible under 2D Circuit 1 book rule. Next, Mr. Combs objects to the $5,000 assessment under the statute because there are no victims. Denied. Oh man, I think we getting the tone of this whole situation that's going on right now. The judge is clowning right now. He in his bag. He is in his Derrick Rose 2013 2014 bag right now. He trying to tell this man, like, nigga, you got me fucked up. You must think I'm stupid as hell. Like, you must think I'm a dumbass. So the judge then says, I have the forfeiture order. Is this your signature, Mr. Combs? Combs says, yes, sir. Judge says, Mr. Steele, did you review it? Combs, Tenny Garagos lawyer, says, I did. Judge says, I incorporate the order into the judgment in this case. We don't know what that is. That's a little bit above our pay grade, but we gonna keep on reading and see what they talking about now. Cause I don't think the judge is done. I don't think the judge is done. I think the judge got some more. He got some more tricks in his bag. Ooh. Okay. Let's get caught up with these folks. I'm pretty sure they had to have gotten to that point by now. I reviewed the defense reply memo of October 2nd, the letter from Mr. Combs and the video. Oh.
Courthouse has grown bigger exponentially. So the crowd is getting bigger, you know, as the day goes on. And I think as we're talking about everything that's going on inside the courthouse, everybody wants to know, okay, well, what's going to happen? What's everyone saying? When's the sentencing coming down? And so you can kind of feel it in the air. People are cheering. People are excited. We want to know what's going to happen.
It's like exciting right now.
Yep,
This
that is
this
exactly
is
what we wanna
oddly
know what
exciting. I
happened.
ain't gonna lie. It's
So before I send
oddly
you guys off,
exciting to be
Aaliyah-
waiting on this man to get sentenced. Oddly exciting. It's like an adrenaline pump. All right, so we got some new. He says, the judge says all remaining objections are overruled. Combs, lawyer Garagos, says, although you say some points don't impact your sentence, it might impact his eligibility for low characterization if you impose an incarceratory sentence. What an incarceratory sentence? An incarceratory sentence. Let's look it up. Let's see what this word means for us C grade students. An incarceratory is to imprison, to confine in a jail or prison, to confine, to shut up or enclose him. So to impose a prison sentence. We can address that, says the judge. Garrigo says, if necessary. So, just further context on them trying to clear up some things. Okay, Combs lawyer Alexandra Shapiro, I'm sorry, man, it's tripping. I'd like to make some points. We briefed extensively. Judge, 380 pages. Shapiro says we raised due process, the fairness concerns set forth by justice. Sotomayor, we believe, militant for our interpretation and preclude the court under 3553. Just more gargle. Let's just get to it, guys. Round the 7.
Aaliyah Roberts, Joe Richardson, thank you both so much for coming on. Sierra Gillespie is going to stay with me. We're going to bring on Alexis Rosenberg. We're going to bring on Tyler Bailey. We are live right now with full coverage of the Sean Diddy Combs sentencing, and we will bring it to you here in real time. Stay with us. We'll take a quick break. We'll be right back right after this. I was surprised. Oh, okay, we got some. Shapiro says, I wanted to preserve this for appeal. Should there be an appeal for your sentence? Judge says it is preserved. The PSR says the offense level is 27. I agree with that. The criminal history category is 1. That leads to a guideline of 70 to 87 months. 70 to 87 months, guys. That's what we're looking at. That's around the time that we're looking at Mr. Combs getting. Let's do the math.
Let's pull out the calculator. Let's pull out the calculator. What is that in terms of years? So in terms of years, 87 months would be 7 years, 7 and a quarter. So 7, maybe starting on this day or starting way back then, you probably looking at him being home in the next 3 to 4 years. That's on the low end of the spectrum. I mean, that's on the highest end of the spectrum, by the way. So 7D months on the low end would be 5.5, a little bit over 5.5 years, which he will be coming home within a year and a half, maybe 2. I would call that a win on his behalf. I would definitely call that a win. I'm gonna have to shell out a couple of dollars, but I would call that a win. I would call that a win. Speaking of shelling a couple of dollars, man, the motherfucking Rams, man, they pissed me off last night. Them niggas pissed me off last night. I ain't even gonna hold you, bro. I needed them to not lose the game. And these niggas went for it on 4th down inside the fucking 30 and fumbled the goddamn ball. And so they should just kick the field goal, went for the tie, and just had their defense. But their defense was ass last night. So I feel it. Hindsight being 2020. It's a long ass break. Law and Crime. What inner city talking about? You got any new updates? Because we know that we looking at 5 to 7 right now. 5 to 7 out of a possible 10 to 20. Judge says out here from the government. AUSA Slavic says, I'd like to respond after the defense as well. Today is about accountability and justice. For 15 years, the victims' lives have been shattered by abuse and exploitation. AUSA Slavic says, this is not just a case about freak-offs in hotel rooms. This is about victims his currency was control. He weaponized it. All of the 3553 factor point to at least 135 months. Now, let's get that number in perspective of what is 135 months in our terms. 11 years. 11 and a quarter to be exact. Which would mean that Diddy won't be coming home probably until 2032. Well, these folks been on a long ass break. I ain't gonna cap. I don't know what they doing. They probably eating crackers and cheese right now. Better space. Oh. Whoa.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to Law and Crimes Live coverage of the Sean Diddy Combs sentencing at a federal court in Lower Manhattan. I'm Jesse Weber. Thank you so much for joining us. So we are bringing you in real time updates about what is happening in that federal courtroom. Now, again, there's no cameras there, but we are letting you know what this whole day may look like. This may be a 4 to 5 hour sentencing hearing. We believe multiple people will be speaking. There have been multiple arguments right now.
You know, also, ASUS Slavic says the defense accuses us of seeking 135 months so that the court splits the difference. We think probation's recommendation of 60 months does not account sufficiently for the harm to Cassie and Jane. That's interesting.
About even what the judge is supposed to consider with respect to sentencing. And let's not forget what's going on here. Sean Combs was convicted of 2 counts of transportation to engage in prostitution, namely transporting sex workers, men, and victims in this case, Jane and Cassie Ventura, across state lines, international lines, for the purposes of sex work. Now, he was acquitted of racketeering. He was a racketeering conspiracy. He was acquitted of 2 counts of sex trafficking. But one of the big discussions today was, can the judge consider acquitted conduct? So conduct that supported the charges he was acquitted of, can he consider that for purposes of sentencing? The judge is allowing it to a certain extent, a limited extent. We found out earlier today that Mia, who had testified in this case, saying, remember, she testified in this trial that Sean Combs had sexually assaulted her multiple times. She is no longer making a statement in court that the allegations were she felt pressured, she felt bullied by the defense team because of their letter to the court. They were objecting to her testimony, and she did not want to go there in public and make that statement. But by all accounts, her letter will still be in the record and still be considered by the judge. The judge has a lot of letters.
All right, so check, right? What I'm about to do, I'm about to change gears because obviously we know, and this is about to take a little minute, and it's going to be slow updates and all this, that, and the third. I want to go into this story that I found that was, it's pretty wild. I ain't going to lie. This is crazy. Give me a second. I'm about to check and see. I'm about to see if T is free to join us for this reaction beat. You feel me? Hold on 1 second. Don't. Easy there. So I'm just wondering, like, as a man, what do you do if you walk in on your son and he cracking your wife's back? Like, they fully in the action. They fully in the your son 15. You just got off from work. You walk in the house. What do you do? Like, do you automatically are you resorting to violence? Are you like, she gotta go, but son, you cool, we good? Do son gotta go? Do she gotta go? Do you ever repair these relationships between the husband and wife or the father and son, can those relationships ever be repaired? Hey, it's crazy because I just wanna. I found this story. Actually, it came out a day ago, a day and a half ago. I was at work when the notification popped up because I'm subscribed to Law and Crime, and I seen the title and I was like, "What the hell? Like, what? There's got to be a murder trial. There's got to be a murder case." Because in my mind, I'm thinking Buddy probably had to black out in that moment. Like, there is no way you walk in on your son and your wife having sex and you just keep everything cool and kosher. Like, I'm pretty sure the emotions is at an all-time high. Not saying that that somebody should murder somebody or anything like that. I'm just saying, like, in that situation, that shit is pretty gross. That's pretty wild. I'm trying to wait for T's butt to finish cooking this food so she can come on and join us in this reaction. I don't want to start it without her to have to recap her on anything. This God dog it. Hot mighty timing is of the essence. I probably should the beautiful thing about being while I'm stalling for time. While I'm stalling for time, I wonder, I don't even know how to do that for real. Oh. I got you. No. I want this. Where is it? There we go. So while I'm stalling for time, I've the album is basically complete. The album is basically complete. Right now, I'm working on some things to make a proper release, but the album is officially complete for sure. I'll play a song at random. Let's see. Waiting on Mama. Bullshit. How long you got? What's that on? Uh-oh. Yeah, so she playing these games. She playing mind games. She playing mind games. Oh. I'm just trying to get this. Let's see if we got any updates on this. On this here. On this here. On this here Diddy thing. You feel me? What we got, what they saying, I know they saying some. I know they ain't been on break, nothing like that. What is going on? What's going on? Okay, so Slavic obviously gonna continue. The defendant tries to argue this is just a sex, drugs, and rock and roll lifestyle. But this is a case about transportation for prostitution and violence. The defendant admitted to the violence at trial. The defendant's respect for the law is lip service. Mr. Combs has booked speaking engagements for Miami for next week. That is the height of hubris. He did this for 15 years. He was responsible for transporting many escorts. That's a lot of freak-offs and a lot of hotel nights. He knew it was illegal. Even in cases that decline to apply the cross-reference, significant sentences are handed down, including in this district. Consider U.S. versus Dylan Jordan. He got 60 months, 5 years. Judge Submaranian says in Jordan, the defendant had been convicted and imprisoned in Cuba in the years prior. Am I correct? And that's why Judge Cronin varied upwards. Slavic says that is correct, as well as other factors. So the judge says there is a distinguishing feature. She ain't think about that. I don't think she thought about that when she was on her high horse. I don't think she thought about that. I mean, the reason why we looking at 70 to 87 months for Diddy was because of his non-prior convictions. This man had been imprisoned already. Slavic says there's also a case by Judge Kimbo Wood, Man Act cases with fear, violence, and threats routinely get significant sentences. This is not a simple transportation case, but it has major aggravators. As to Cassie, he hit. I want to think that man, he hit, kicked, and stomped on her. I think that's what that. I think that might be with that man, because he hit, and stomped her. Or maybe she went to he might have hit and stomped her. Hit and stomped her. We don't know. Well, either way it goes, yeah. Yeah. She says the video from the LA hotel was played many times at trial and it never got easier. As to Jane, he punched her, he slapped her a little over a year ago when he knew he was under federal investigation. At trial, they said they owned the evidence. They owned the violence. I'm sorry, they owned the violence. At trial, they said they owned the violence. I'm assuming that mean that they saying that they used to it. They were. It wasn't nothing new to them. They expected it. I ain't gonna fake though. That hotel video was kind of crazy. I can only imagine. You can only really imagine kind of type shit was going on outside of that, just that one incident. I don't think they want to say that that was just a one-time event. Admitting to violence in front of the jury as part of a trial strategy is not accountability. Freak-offs were extended performances of sexual degradation and humiliation. Cassie and Jane did not want to have sex with strangers. He made them do it. I ain't gonna cap, yo. Jane ass was like 50 Cent baby dad was like, I'm trying to have an all-star freak-off for you. I want 3 dudes tonight. She don't know none of these niggas. I want 3 dudes tonight. Cassie. I think Cassie just grew into it. I don't know. I ain't gonna say they did not want to do it though, because yeah, that's a hard one to say. He had an escort urinate in Cassie's mouth until she choked. Her victims' impact statements make clear she still has nightmares and flashbacks about it, and scars on her body. Jane's text made clear her anguish and trauma. I mean, they just, man, this is tough. That's tough. All right. Anyway, so now we can finally get into what we was trying to get into, because old Tish done made it into the building, the place to be. Tish has made it to the You gonna come on over? Or you wanna sit off to the side since you're eating and stuff?
Right.
You wanna advertise your food. Show them folks what that thing look like, that presentation. So Florida dad catches wife having sex with son. What the fuck is going on is what he says. I think that's rightful. That's rightfully so. I would probably be the first thing that comes to mind. But I want to know, what would you do if you walked in on your son having sex with your wife? What do you do? Like, What do you do when you catch your son having sex with your wife, bro? What you do? And this story is going to tell us what this man did when he walked in on his wife having sex with his son. Obviously, it's a stepmom relationship. So, like, it's not an incestual thing. We're not about to go crazy and go bonkers with it. But this is a +30, 40-something-year-old woman. We're gonna get into this shit. Like, let's waste no time. Alexis Von Yates.
It's very accusative and very damning to me, to a point that I don't want to talk to anybody, and I need a lawyer.
That is Alexis Von Yates, the Florida nurse who sexually abused her 15-year-old stepson. Well, now newly released audio gives us a firsthand look at the tense moments when deputies arrested her, and interviews with the boy's father provide details about what he walked in on. We are revisiting this case with some context that the public has never heard before. Welcome to Sidebar, presented by Law and Crime. I'm Jesse Weber. Gotta talk.
So, like, dang, that's tough, man. I hate that for Buddy, boy. God, I cannot imagine that trauma right now. God damn. That's the ultimate crash out moment. Yeah. That's the ultimate moment to crash the fuck out. Like, if anybody crashes out, it will. I think the jury would sympathize for you to crash out in a moment like that, bro. Like, nigga, you walk in on your kid smashing your wife. The ultimate betrayal. The two people that you thought supposed to love you the most, that's supposed to have the most respect and be loyal to you, both betrayed you together. They were working as spies in your house. Them niggas conspired against you, bro. It ain't even no way you can tell, man. It is no way. I don't give a fuck how drunk you got. I don't give a fuck how high you was. It ain't nothing that could ever tell me that both of y'all are locked in like this. Oh, fuck no. Hell no.
About this new audio that has come out in a case that we have been following very closely here on Sidebar. And what a case it is. A stepmother who pleaded guilty to sexually abusing her 15-year-old stepson. And what is this new audio? In these recordings, the boy's father.
And she ain't even ugly. Like, of all the fucking people you could have did this with, you do this with my motherfucking son? Bro, I could have probably been a little bit more under. I could have probably been a little bit easier on it if it was like, you walk in on her fucking another dude. But even off of that, it's still like, bro, y'all in my house. So that's like still the utmost disrespect, even in his own. But God damn, your son
describes walking in on a scene that he says left him shocked. It left all of us shocked. And deputy's body cam also captures the very moment that the defendant here, Alexis Von Yates, was arrested. So here's the story. Alexis Von Yates, a 35-year-old registered nurse, was accused of sexual abuse involving her teenage stepson during the summer of 2024. Following an investigation and multiple interviews, she was arrested, and she later faced court proceedings. This new audio does something different. It gives us a firsthand look at this father's account, and again, the tense moments of her arrest. We haven't heard this before. So to give you the full picture, let's just take a quick step back. We're going to recap the case from the beginning. This case starts off in the summer of 2024 in Ocala, Florida. At the center of it all is Alexis Yates, also known as Alexis Von Yates. She was married, she had 2 young children of her own, and she was a stepmother to a 15-year-old boy. That teen came down from Washington, D.C. to stay with his dad, Alexis, and his half-siblings for the summer break last
White
year.
people do some weird shit. What the fuck? Ain't no way. Is that real? Is that AI? She let the dragonfly land on her nose? Is that real? Wow.
And then, according to an arrest affidavit, something truly unthinkable happened. On July 30th, 2024, the Marion County Sheriff's Office got an anonymous tip. A man had allegedly walked in on his own wife, Alexis, and his son, her 15-year-old stepson, having sex. Can you imagine what that must have been like? But when investigators showed up to question Alexis's husband about that shocking allegation, he denied it. Yeah, the body cam footage captured this exchange.
We received a report that something happened when he was at your house between on the 26th between Tristan and your wife.
Okay.
And that you allegedly walked in on them.
No, that's not true.
Okay.
My man said, no, that's not true. In that moment, I'm thinking you might have killed the buddy. Did you kill that man? Is the boy okay? Is he at home? Can we speak to the boy? Is he alive? Is the wife there? Can I speak to her? Is she alive? He denied it.
So our report came in, sexual battery, that you walked in with them in the middle of sexual acts.
No, that is 100% false.
Okay.
So I know he's a very messed up kid. I really haven't been a part of his life for very long, but if there's anything like this, I probably should.
Okay. So he said he's a messed up kid and he just recently got into his life. So I can understand the son. I can understand what the son mindset might be at that point. When you put it in that perspective, the son probably just like, man, fuck that dude. He ain't been my dad. He ain't been in my life. Shit. I like his wife. His wife is hot. Like I said, for a 15-year-old boy to have a stepmom like that, that's that Stacy's mom has got it going on type of vibe. And I mean, shit, those two things kind of correlate, but the wife is that's diabolical.
Yeah. So right now, all that's the only information we have. You know, we don't have anything coming directly from him per se. But it did mention that you walked in on them.
No.
Okay. Okay.
I don't know. Is there anyone I can know who said that, or
it's anonymous?
Yeah, it's anonymous, so we don't even know.
The call came in through a line called Crime Stoppers, which is like for anonymous tips.
How the fuck? I wonder if maybe he got so out of control. He called the police, not the police, but Crime Stoppers, and left the anonymous tip. What? I'm not understanding what the fuck going on. Well, how would somebody else know that this incident even happened? Oh, maybe his neighbors might have heard him yelling at them folks. Because I can imagine if he said, "What the fuck is going on?" He probably said that a few times, and motherfuckers wasn't listening, or motherfuckers wasn't responding fast enough. So he was like yelling real loud. So the neighbors probably knowing his name now. That's probably what I'm thinking had to be the situation. Like, if he didn't call this anonymous tip in,
we honestly assumed you made the report, or something along those lines. But we don't have any information other than, like she was saying, that's what the report said.
Okay.
Which is why we're actually at your house right now. You used to live at the.
Yes, sir.
Me and the CPI are currently sitting in your driveway right now. Actually, we were coming to come talk to you and talk to them. But you don't know anything about anything like this.
Now, we wanted to bring this case to you, and the reason that we can do that is because of the support that we get from Morgan & Morgan,
Right,
America's largest injury law firm. Our sponsor. This is a firm with over 1,000 by clicking the link below or scanning the QR code on screen.
Appreciate it, Jay. Appreciate it.
No, and anything I probably wouldn't just say. I know that there are some accusations made. I don't think they're true or not, but
You said there were accusations made?
I believe so.
Who made the accusations?
I believe that.
Made the accusations? Okay.
When did he make those accusations? Prior to this?
No.
Okay, so this is all brand new. So there's nothing prior.
So he's saying basically that his son said, "I fucked your wife." In layman's terms, I don't think the son was that damn disrespectful to tell him, like, "Yeah, dude, I fucked your wife." But apparently, he's basically around the way saying that his son made an accusation that he slept with his wife, but it was unfounded, or he doesn't believe it, or he's not going for that, like, in layman's terms.
Or that he mentioned.
No.
Okay. Okay. But you're thinking it might have come from.
I really honestly have no idea who would have honestly done something like that. You know, it's a really bizarre, embarrassing scenario that I don't even entertain.
What accusations make?
I'm not sure. I would probably get a lawyer before I said anything else.
Well, you're not under investigation right now. I mean, no one's really under investigation. It's just a matter of this report came in, and at this point, it's an ominous report. Going to have to get seen regardless to speak to him, and then once that's done, it's a matter of either determining whether the claims are founded or unfounded. And from what you're saying, it's more than likely unfounded.
I believe so.
Right. I mean, if you don't want to tell me, you don't want to tell me, but it go a long ways as far as helping us figure out if we can write down what told you, and then we can go to and it says, "Oh, I didn't make that report," or gives us verbatim what you're telling me he told you. We can kind of rule it out and kind of say, "Okay, we probably made this report," if you know what I mean.
Right. Yeah, I understand that. And I'm sitting here thinking to myself, kind of freaking, my heart's racing a little bit, but I can think that the implications that could come of this, I don't believe that anything happened.
Okay.
Yeah, that's.
But the key factor is it mentioned that you walked in on them when they were on the couch.
No, I did not see any type of physical action whatsoever.
So as you just heard, Mr. Yates flatly denied the allegation, calling it 100% false, described his son as troubled with a history of making up, quote, crazy stuff. But the thing is, detectives would later reach out to Yates again after his wife's arrest. And we're going to get to that in a minute. But when investigators first spoke with the teen, what he revealed was chilling. He said his father worked nights as a lineman. So while his dad was gone, Alexis put the younger kids to bed. Then she and this teen would stay up. They would play video games. They would watch a movie and even use her THC vape pen. So at around 1 a.m., the teen said that Alexis started making inappropriate sexual comments, allegedly telling him she was horny, that she hadn't had sex in 2 weeks. He told investigators she'd been making sexual jokes in front of him for about a week already, and he admitted he was infatuated with her.
2 weeks and you married and you ain't got sex. You ain't had sex. Y'all ain't had time to have sex. That sounds like the average American marriage. For what reason aren't they having sex? Is she not attracted to her husband, or is they can't find time, or what? What's the story behind that? That's interesting. Why is she even feeling comfortable enough to tell a 15-year-old dude that she horny though?
She's a predator.
I'm wondering if she might, if this that thing that is like you spend. It's this theory where if you spend a lot of quality time with a person, no matter the level of attractiveness to them, over time you can find attractiveness in them.
Not no child.
Yeah.
There's boundaries, bro. That's just not acceptable.
Yeah, that's
a child. No, she's a predator. I'm sorry. Can't sandwich that up.
And she a nurse, so I'm knowing she working with hella guys. It gotta be doctors in there. That's weird.
From the affidavit, quote, thinking about all the statements the suspect had made to him about being horny, he decided to ask her if she wanted to cuddle. The suspect stated she thought that might be weird. He lay on top of the suspect as she lay with her head down the armrest of the couch, and she commented something to the effect of, "Oh, you're just going right for it, huh?" The affidavit continues, the suspect and child victim kissed. As the suspect began escalating, the suspect said, "Oh man, I wish you were 18 because you're not old enough." Now, despite that statement, the boy said things quickly escalated into sexual acts, including intercourse, and then it all blew up. The affidavit says, suddenly the door began to unlock. The front door is directly in front of the couch. The child victim recalled running to the bathroom as his father entered the home, seeing his wife with no bra on and a blanket covering the lower half of her body. The child victim's father saw the child victim running to the bathroom and yelled, "What the bleep is going on?" as he threw things. The boy said his father yelled at him and his wife ordered his son to pack up and drove him to his grandparents' home. On the way, he bought beer and, according to the affidavit, told his son he had ruined his life and never to contact him again. But what happened next made things worse. The affidavit says the teen tried to tell his cousin and his mother about this abuse, but instead, multiple family members allegedly discouraged him. His grandfather allegedly said, "You better not be telling them what happened." The boy told investigators, "I realized that my man's man, blue-collar father, seeing what happened to his son, did not face the sexual abuse of his child like a man." According to the affidavit, Alexis even called the boy after this incident and told him she wished his father hadn't caught them. So then you go to November of 2024, and that's when deputies arrested her. When confronted, she refused to talk without a lawyer, but then made unprovoked.
So I'm wondering two different ways of what she meant when she said, "I wish the father hadn't caught them." I'm wondering if she's saying that because she wished she wouldn't have gotten caught because she didn't want to face the ramifications of that, or is she saying, "I wish the father wouldn't have caught me or caught us because she wanted it to continue." I mean, I think it's obvious. I think it's obvious that most would garner to go with the fact with, yeah, she probably was enjoying it. But I'm low-key wondering if it has something to do with the other. But if it's the other, then why was y'all, again, it goes back to my question, like, why the fuck were y'all having sex for 2 weeks? If you were so horny, if you liked them. Marriages is weird, bro. People get married and then stop doing the things that y'all like to do in the beginning. What you think? What you got on your mind?
Like I said, ain't no excuse for that woman.
No, but why? I want to know the first part. Like, why is they not having sex and they married? 2 years, 2 weeks. Why do women get in marriages and then start having sex?
I don't know. I can't answer that.
It's a forum on Reddit. It's called Dead Bedrooms, and it's just a whole thread of people that just talk about all the time how they haven't had sex for months, for years. They tried to do it and just wasn't interested. It's like, bro, what the fuck happens? What is the purpose in
statements like this one included in the affidavit? Since the Department of Children and Families had closed their case, she was in the clear, saying the incident was so accusatory, attempting to put blame on the child victim.
Wow.
So deputies, they arrive at Alexis's home on November 6, 2024. And what followed was incredibly tense, from her initial confusion to immediately bringing up her lawyer and then to outright refusing to answer questions. And their body cams captured the audio of that exchange.
Yeah, hey, I'm Detective Ofsted with the Sheriff's Office. Are you Alexis?
Yes.
Hey, I was hoping to speak with you.
Okay.
If you have a moment. Are you able to come speak with me?
Oh, my kid's leaving. I just got woke up and I got to take him to school like in a little while. What's this about?
Is your husband here?
He works out of town.
Oh, is he out of town right now?
Yeah.
Shoot. Okay.
Why? What's going on?
Yeah, I'm not quite exactly sure, all the details right now, but there was something I was hoping to speak with you about. Someone able to watch the kids maybe while we talk?
Not really. I had my mom watch the kids like Monday, Tuesdays, and I just got off work. I'm a nurse, and I just got off work like last night, so I just was getting my sleep. Does this have to do with? I already have a lawyer. Is this about?
Yeah, it has to do with. I think everybody deserves to give their side of things.
Okay.
Again, that's what I was hoping to speak with you about.
I don't, it's very accusative and very damning to me to a point that I don't want to talk to anybody, and I need a lawyer. And I could give her your number.
So you don't want to talk to me about it?
I don't want to talk to anybody about it.
This deputy's going to place you under arrest for the.
I ain't gonna fake. Now hearing her talk, I can kind of get a picture of who she is and what that means when she says, "I wish she wouldn't have caught us." Mm-hmm. But this bitch don't take accountability for nothing. I want to know how she probably. This is probably one of those households where she's the head of the shit. She runs the shit. That man probably was trying to get sex from that woman, and she just was like, "No, I don't feel like it. I'm tired." But she got time to be up at night playing video games with my 15-year-old son. Mm-hmm. That's crazy word. She on some demon time.
Yep. Serious battery. We'll figure out something with the kids. Okay. And I'll be right back. Okay. Morning, man. My name is David Chiggers, and I got your call. Do you have someone that can watch your video?
Can I talk to you? This is just.
You definitely can talk with me, but unfortunately,
but you are going to arrest me today.
As of if you don't want to talk to me, I get that. But with the amount of information I have,
can I please?
So I have quite a few conversations with different people. I have quite a few phone calls that have been recorded.
Nobody was here at all. It was me watching our kids, and a child
like I said,
made words to me.
There was something you said there, and I want to be sure, okay? Because if you don't want to talk to me without a lawyer, I respect that. But you just told me that you don't want to talk to me without a lawyer, and now you want.
Because this is just so disruptive to my everyday life, all the way down to my children. I don't want to leave my children.
And I'm not here because I think you're a rapist. If I thought you were a rapist, I'd put a warrant out for you, and I want to try to talk to you about it, right? But I have to be really clear before we go any further, because you have said you really don't want to talk to me without a lawyer.
I just think it's just so, what is going on here is just so it's just so bizarre to me. I can't even put.
And that's why I really wanted to hear your side of things. But unfortunately, we can't be getting a lawyer out here right now, so I'm not going to talk to you about it if you don't want to talk to me about a lawyer, because we do have that.
So in order to talk to you about it, I have to talk to you without my lawyer.
No. We're just not going to talk about it. Because you said you'd rather have your lawyer present. And I respect that.
So what do we do now then?
We're going to figure out someone that can come watch your kids, but you are going to be placed under arrest right now.
So after she's placed in handcuffs, Yates began to insist that she had already been cleared of what she was being accused of, which was mentioned in the affidavit, and expressing concern over her other young son seeing her in handcuffs.
Can I just ask you what is going to happen now? Because at this point, I truly thought DCF came here and they went through everything with me. And at that time, it was just so embarrassing and unbelievable. what was going on. And then I received a letter, and they were saying, we are done with your case. You could rest easy. And I know that those.
Yeah. Give me a moment. I'm gonna bring the vehicle closer so you're not seen by
Thank
anything.
you.
Right?
I feel like I'm gonna throw up at any moment. This is unbelievable.
I think you have every right to be frustrated.
I'm not frustrated. There's a lot of things. I'm honestly, it's truly unbelievable. I don't know. There's frustration is one with the kid. What has been said, I just can't believe the amount of disadvantage that has been. But what I'm saying is, so I know you guys are different departments.
So you just start stumbling over all her words, then she a disadvantage. So what I'm saying is, now you don't know what to say. How your lies gonna come out now? You just all fucked up. You done told so many different stories. You done talked so much. You should have just kept your mouth closed if you want to play that type of game. But you fucked up because you talked too much, and now you fucked up. She said off the break though, she came out with the lawyer defense. I got a lawyer. I don't want to talk, but now she want to talk.
So you're not seen by
Thank
anything.
you.
Right?
They put up the car for her.
I feel like I'm gonna throw up at any moment. This is unbelievable.
I think you have every right to be frustrated.
I'm not frustrated. There's a lot of things. I'm honestly, it's truly unbelievable. I don't know. There's frustration is one with the kid. What has been said, I just can't believe the amount of disadvantage that has been. But what I'm saying is, so I know you guys are different.
Man, look, man.
So
yeah, they're not law enforcement. They're just
put them cuffs on that girl, man. Get her out of
deal
here,
with
man.
children,
right,
and families and elderly.
Okay.
And so what we are as a law enforcement agency, so completely different roles. So their role would be to determine, and again, this is just speaking not about your case. This is speaking generally about just how we work. Their role is to, determine if there's dangers to children immediately present, see if there's action that has to be taken, and then to occasionally offer services, right? And then law enforcement, we investigate if there's violations of statute.
Right.
So it's a completely different thing, though. We do often work hand in hand. I can understand why that would be a little confusing. Again, I want to respect your right, and I don't want to talk to you more about this. You keep trying to talk to me about it. I'm not trying to be rude. I just really am trying to respect you. That's all I'm trying to do. I know that this whole process just feels disrespectful, just in general. Being arrested, right? Not being free to leave, being taken somewhere you didn't want to go, having to have someone come here. But it's a process we have to go through. It's not like, everyone wants to be, dragging everybody through all this. It's the process. So I appreciate your patience in the meantime. We can get her back for now, and then
we don't Carmen the moment. Carmen.
Okay, and then is kiddo asleep in there? Are they going to be all right for now? Is he going to be all right for now?
I don't know. He might even be up looking for me in the house.
How old is he?
He's almost 4. He's 3.
And the last thing I want for him to see is mom in handcuffs.
That's what I'm saying.
So let's get you in the back of the car. He'll probably be okay for 5 minutes or so, right?
I can't just stand here till my mom gets
here. You can.
here.
I just don't want him to see. I guess you can just.
I think
hang out
me
like
here is better than me in a cop car.
Absolutely.
I don't know. The whole thing is just unbelievable. I don't know what to say. I can't.
All we can do.
This
all we can do is take it one step at a time. I don't want to make this any more difficult for you than it has to be, right? So
now, as I mentioned earlier, detectives speak with the child's father a second time, again, to better understand what had happened that night. And this is what he told them.
Hello, this is Frank.
Hey, Mr. Yates. This is Detective Austin of the Sheriff's Office. How you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Good. Hey, sorry to bother you. Do you have a moment to talk?
I do.
So I've talked to quite a few people. I think you probably know what I'm calling about.
Yes, sir.
It's my understanding that you, though you weren't wanting to talk about it at the time that the Department of Children and Families came by, you were willing to talk about the incident. Should your son go on record about it? He's gone on record in some detail. I mean, I was really hoping that I could, no matter how painful, you know, or difficult it is to talk about, I was wondering if I could speak with you about what happened that night.
So as far as right now, is that like something that's like an official or on the record type thing,
or? What do you mean? Oh, no, I'm not going to like swear you in front of me or anything. I did want to talk about what happened though.
Right. But I mean, is it like a recorded statement or?
I would be documenting what you said for sure.
Right. Yeah. And yeah, sorry I missed your call. I didn't know. I worked a night shift.
I find it interesting that he's so interested in finding out whether this call is recorded or whether this is being documented, more so than interested in getting this shit rectified. Like, why the fuck are you making it so difficult to goddamn get this bitch locked up and get some fixing for your son? Because your son gonna need some help. I ain't gonna fake. It's cool when you a young kid and you done had sex with a grown woman in theory, but realistically, that does cause some issues, and that issue is going to be persistent throughout the rest of that man's life, throughout the duration of his life, unless he gets some form of help or some type of counseling or something. Because now at this stage, he's gonna have some different interests and different likings when it comes to sexual proclivities now. And this is real. This is a real thing. Whether you like to admit it or not, that's whatever. But yeah, Frank is a fucking dickhead. He should have been reported this shit. He should have been told these folks what he walked in and witnessed. And he had no reason to be talking about whether this is recorded, whether I'm gonna get in trouble, whether I need to talk to a lawyer, whether any charges is coming on me. Motherfucker, what the hell could that possibly have any fucking thing to do with you, my boy? You walked in the house and you witnessed something, bitch. Go tell them folks what happened, man. Stop acting like that.
Last night I'm out of town and I was sleeping. I had my phone on airplane mode. And
great idea.
Obviously woke up to a bunch of crazy stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, obviously there's like some serious implications to this.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what to say really.
I mean, all you can say is the truth. I think that is the most important thing.
Right.
I mean, what happened the last night that your son was in your home?
So basically I came home after working a night shift and I walked in and seen someone in a compromising position, and I didn't see anything like, definitive, I guess you could say. And she has her story, and yeah, I can't really say. It's just going off of what she said kind of stuff. So,
what did she have clothes on?
At the time, no.
Okay. Was he in the room when you walked in?
Yes.
Did he have clothes on?
Yes.
This man said when he walked in, his wife did not have a bra or a shirt on, and she was sitting on the couch, and his son was standing up and her head was at his waist. He said that she said that they didn't do anything. And he believes this shit. How fucking dumb do you gotta be? Like, let's just be real. Are you stupid or are you fucking dumb, bro? It's very evident what the fuck is going on, whether you want to believe this shit or not. My nigga, your wife was guzzling. She was gummy bearing his Shango stick. It's not rocket science, bro. What's wrong with that, man? She was gummy bearing his Shango stick.
He in love.
No, he's a fucking sucker.
Yeah.
Fully clothed or?
It happened really quick. I wasn't really, obviously you don't expect to come home to anything like that. But,
absolutely. No, and I understand for so many reasons.
Anything like what? Hold up now. You don't expect to come home to anything like what? Because if they wasn't doing that, you should be expecting them to come home to the normal proceedings. That's the normal proceedings of y'all's life. If it wasn't nothing out the ordinary, you should be able to say, yeah, nah, shit, it was a normal night. Everything was cool. Nah, motherfucker, you noticed that something wasn't right. You knew something wasn't right. So why the fuck is you saying, oh, you believe that she said that, oh, nothing happened? Shut the fuck up, stupid.
Make people uncomfortable, but unfortunately in situations,
I do not feel bad for Frank Gates. I don't feel bad for you no more, Frank Gates. You an idiot, bro. I thought I could feel bad for you. I can't even feel bad for a dude like this. This is dumb. This is dumb, bro. That's like me walking in on my son, piping down my woman, and then I'm like, yeah, everything cool, everything normal, nothing happened. She told me ain't nothing happened. I seen it with my own 2 eyes, but she told me ain't nothing happened. All right, cool. That's cool. I got matter of fact, I need to go find Frank Gates' Facebook or something. I'm gonna shoot him a DM. I got a couple 100 acres in Oregon. I'm about to sell this nigga.
Situations like this, it's really important.
Right.
And I don't need to tell you that. I know you're a grown man. You understand that.
And so even though this time the father revealed that he did in fact witness something, he kind of keeps his statements vague, remaining seemingly cautious.
She has a lawyer and, is fully aware of the accusations and whatnot. So, I don't know if you can tell me anything as far as what's going on, or.
I certainly can tell you a little bit, but I want to make sure I understand. I mean, what is her story that she told you?
Basically, that she was in a towel, went out to the living room to phone late at night, and he had ripped the towel off of her, and that's when I came inside, all in that small window there, I guess you could say.
Okay. Well, it's my understanding she told some other people a different story. Do you know anything about maybe other statements she would have made?
No, sir, I do not.
Okay. Do you have
the biggest thing is if something is basically, I don't want to be in a situation where I'm being, I don't know what you would say, accused, or I have 2 small kids. I'm sure you know. If something was to happen to her, I would be the only parent. I don't want to obviously have myself in any type of trouble. I did nothing wrong, but I don't.
Yeah, I'm not investigating you for a crime. I
know, but as far as not saying something, or I don't know how this all works or anything like that. But
well, if it turns out that I get down the road and I find out that you've point blank intimidated him to not press charges or anything like that, that would be an issue, right? But as far as you not telling me what happened, I mean, though, or at least not wanting to tell me, everything in full detail, I find that a little concerning.
As fuck.
So, you trying to protect your wife, or you first and foremost, you trying to protect a child predator. even if she is your wife.
Say that.
So it's just.
I wonder if they at this point in time were still together, or if they were trying to figure things out or work out their differences. Because
shit, it ain't nothing to work out, bro. Like shit, that's the low. That's the all-time low. We done. There ain't nothing to figure out.
That's like those stories about, actually, that's like, flip that. Let's flip that. Oh shit, this is that. This is that. This happens a lot. This actually happens more than this happens, where you got a stepdad that sleeps with the daughter, and the daughter tells the mom, but the mom kicks the daughter out instead of leaving the man. Like, what the fuck is wrong with folks, bro? What the fuck is wrong with, why do people do that? Why in the fuck? If my kid came and told me he slept with my woman, bro, whether shit is true or not, nigga, you gotta go. Hey, baby, you gotta go. I can't even trust this relationship no more. I'm deeply hurt. I am deeply hurt right now. Accusation or not, bitch, you gotta go. If I can find out, if I can have support and evidence, I'm reporting your ass. I ain't even gonna lie. I'm going straight to them folks on you. I ain't even about to. I'm gonna keep that shit a band.
She'll do it again. That's the thing. If she didn't get convicted for this, she would have been still doing it, and she would do it.
She would have been doing this shit and doing this shit, bro. People got like fucked up. Why in the fuck? Why do you think that you would rather keep the person that is molesting your kid or doing anything of that nature, even giving you an indication, any form of an indication? If you have that thought that it's like, dang, I wonder if they could be possibly messing with my kid. Why stay in a relationship with that person? What the fuck do love got to do with it? Love could never be that damn strong. It can never be that strong. They say love is blind, though.
It is.
They say love is blind. And I can acknowledge that you do overlook a lot of things, but there are certain things that it's just like, bro, you don't overlook that shit, bro.
No,
you can't overlook
not
that.
Nobody sleeping with.
You can't
children.
Get past that.
Not a grown person sleeping with children. No. You can't get past that.
But it's not necessarily against the law. I think what's most important for everybody would be to just tell the truth, the full truth from the beginning. Obviously I don't get to the point I'm at without a little bit of evidence.
Yeah, I'm sure.
And so I just really wanted to, hear what you had to say, because I have, a couple conversations where people have told me that you told them that you would be willing to tell the full story, and everything
Right. And that's the thing too, is I basically told you the full story. As far as what I physically saw, but
I think he got a kid with her also. I wonder if both of those kids was his with her, or if one of those kids was his with her, or was those both kids from her own separate relationship, because she was 35.
I think he did mention that both of those kids were his, because he said
he is holding the baby back here. So if he holding the baby there, then they got 2 kids together. So for them to have 2 kids together, I'm wondering then if maybe I wonder if she would have tried something like that with her own kid though. When he got of a certain age, would she be interested or intrigued by what he got going on?
You can't take them kind of chances.
It's my understanding there was a little bit more of a conversation that occurred between the two of you that night, where she told you a little bit more than that.
As far as Alexis telling me something?
Yes, during the argument that ensued when you got home.
Right. And that was basically me asking what the hell is going on. And, like I said, going back and forth. It's like a he said, she said stuff.
So she didn't
So
apologize.
Like who do you believe at that point, I guess?
So she didn't apologize to you and make statements along the lines of, that she was sorry and that he looks like you?
Oh God. Is this like public record or?
Right there tells is very telling. Right there is very telling. Very telling. When that man said that, they hit a nerve. That had to have been something that really was said.
Oh, it was.
And he says, is this on public record? Boy, you on YouTube, you viral. Boy, you
the whole story.
You viral, my boy. You worried about the wrong things right now, ain't you?
Literally.
You worry about all the wrong things because you're viral. As fact, let's see. Hold up. As of right now, 7.25 million. Oh no, wait, no, I'm tripping. 698,000 views, and it's only a day ago. It's going up, my boy. And if I can help it any, shit, I'm gonna push this motherfucker another one. I'm trying to, boy, you viral. So you worried about the wrong thing. In 2025, in the 2020 era, when the 2020 era came around, I would think that it's safe to say that anybody that has a brain should know that there is nothing private anymore. Nothing is fucking private anymore. There is no such thing as what you do in your private time, because all of your private time is constantly being monitored. For sure. It's a movie, or is it a TV show? Something about where they monitoring everything. Nigga, your TV got cameras in it that you didn't even know it had. Your phone got a camera in it that takes pictures constantly and you don't even know it's taking pictures. Your listening devices, your phone listens all the time. If you got an Alexa, it listens. If you got a HomePod, it listens. Bro, there is no privacy. You worrying about the wrong shit, my boy. Hell, the folks that was monitoring your house, they already know what the fuck was going on. You just can't use the shit because obviously there is a level that you can't go past. They can't allow you to know that they know all this shit that you do. Nigga, every conversation on the phone is recorded. Of course, it's public record. People's jail calls is being leaked. Those shits was supposed to be private. That shit is getting leaked. It's not private information. It's all public. You are a public entity. People don't plan. It's a whole nother, that's a whole nother conversation. That's
So in cases where investigations of sexual, unlawful sexual activity with minors, there's laws protecting, their information from being public record.
I mean, as far as like statements go,
As far as yeah, their information, being involved, and where he's directly involved with the incident, that would be not public record.
After learning more information, the detective pressed him to provide a full statement, asking about not just what he witnessed, but why he hadn't reported it.
I'm not here to embarrass you. I think that I can understand why you have cognitive dissonance about this, why losing her would represent a major upset in your life, not just as far as like your emotions, but the kids and everything that represents. But
exactly, and that's the big thing right there. I mean, that's the consequences that's going to have for my small children. So and that's basically where I'm have been with this whole situation.
It's embarrassing.
But can you at least answer that for me? Did she make statements?
What's embarrassing about it?
Because it's like at the end of the day, he is stuck between a rock and a hard place. Like, he loves his wife, and then his son. I mean, he daggone sure, like, obviously he does get that is his son. So that is that's a hard
they
thing.
both betrayed me at the lowest form of betrayal.
Yeah.
There is no love lost. There is all consequences that needs to be faced. Nigga, you gonna get your help. You getting psychiatric help. Bitch, you facing these charges and we getting a divorce. And when you get out, you're gonna have to deal with that also because I'm suing you. I'm suing you.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, the whole complete disappointment, you know what I'm saying? Like, he is, I mean, he feeling some kind of way, like, and then it is embarrassing. Like, he don't want to talk to nobody about no mess like that, and I can probably understand that too.
Man, I ain't got no problem telling these folks my wife was a hoe. She slept with my son. That bitch was nasty. She a slut. He
clearly cares a lot about her, and that obviously hurt him in a big way. I'm not gonna say that didn't.
You ain't care about me enough.
He's still trying to protect the predator, and that part isn't okay.
Nah, you ain't care about me enough. You couldn't have cared about me enough because you ain't even clean me up for 2 weeks. I'm all backed up. You ain't care about me. You done serviced my son. You ain't give no fucks about, but you get yourself off. No.
We're reading into things stuff we don't know.
No, that's what you mean. She said she ain't had sex in 2 weeks. That's what she told the boy.
I understand that, but we don't know the full in-depth
what you mean?
Why that even happened. So you just can't go making assumptions.
It don't matter why it happened. He ain't get cleaned up for 2 weeks. His son was getting all of the sloppy guac 5,000. She was throwing it back on him. She was doing the most. She in the bed. She in the couch, ball naked, she spread out like a Patrick Starfish, ready for her. What you mean?
Spread out like a
man. What you mean? He ain't getting service, but his son is. You don't give a fuck about me. And that's the same one right there. I'll promise you, that's the same one. This one right here. She'll divorce him real quick. Give me all that money. Whatever money you got, I need that. And you're gonna give me child support because I'm taking the kids too. As a matter of fact, you got to move out this house because it's mine.
If it was him, yeah, for sure.
What you? No, nigga, you gotta do, bro. You gotta do what you gotta do. In 2025, I've learned. If anything, I've learned. You gotta do what you gotta do. You cannot play with these folks, man. You gotta do what you gotta do. Love. Sometimes you gotta do the hard thing in love. Love is hard. And sometimes you gotta do the hard thing. Sometimes you gotta do the hard thing. Yeah. When you love your son, but he fuck up, you gotta give him a whooping. You love him, but you gotta beat his ass. You gotta deal with that consequence.
Yeah.
All right. My son, the boy father who told on his son for killing them boys. Shit, I mean, shit, nigga. Nigga, you kill people. I'm not gonna say it. I understand that's a hard thing to have to tell on your son. I understand it, but at the same token, it's like, my nigga, you did do that shit.
Yeah, for sure.
You did do that wrong. Yeah. I can't hold you down, bro. I can't. They gonna give me life for something you did. Nah, dog, it don't work that way, bro. You gotta wear your shit. And folks is fucking it up out here talking about some. No, bitch, you better call the cops. Hey, man, I just walked in. My wife in here messing with my 15-year-old son. Yeah. What's the hotline for the hotline for therapy? I need something for my damn self now because I done witnessed something trauma. I'm traumatized. Yeah. Son, you coming with me, man? And when you 18, you taking your ass to college. You gotta go, bro. You gotta go. I gotta take care of you right now, but you gotta go. But actually, no, because he was not even living there. He was living somewhere else.
He took him to his grandparents.
Yeah, so you gotta go. Yeah, you gotta go. I can't even trust you no more. Because now next time I got a woman, I'll be thinking in my mind, is you trying to sleep with my bitch?
Can't even work.
Man.
To that effect.
I really think maybe I should speak with a lawyer or something.
You a dumbass.
Okay. I mean, you can if you want. But I get the feeling the answer is yes if you're not telling me no. I just I'm here to try to make sure that the truth is what's recorded. I'm not here to humiliate anybody. That's not my intention. I'm not here to ridicule anyone. When she was arrested this morning, she was treated with, all the respect we could give. She wasn't, treated poorly or anything like that. And I don't think going forward, that's how it'll be. But I really would like your full statement, because you are not implicated in a crime. You are just essentially not giving me your witness statement of what you witnessed. Which, when it comes to the sexual abuse of a child, is obviously concerning. Would you be willing to answer that question for me?
At the time that everything was going on, it was like so late at night, stuff like that. I don't really recall that a specific statement like that being made.
Based off of the way you're kind of answering me, I think you do recall what was said, but I think you don't want to tell me. And I'm not meaning to be super confrontational about it. I just, I've been doing this a long time.
No, I know, and I respect you. I really do. I just, I'm not sure what to do, and the implications of all this, I'm not sure if I should contact a lawyer and talk with them before I say anything, because now I'm getting a feeling that the person who's done nothing wrong is going to be, I don't know what could go wrong here.
Well, I mean, I'm not, like I said, I'm not implicating you in any crime. I just, there were statements made to me like that you had perhaps put in an anonymous tip about this. Is that true?
No, I did not.
You did not?
No, sir.
Why did you not report what you saw?
Like I said, it was like, who do you believe at that point?
Yeah.
Yes, but there were.
This motherfucker said it's like who do you believe at that point? Nigga, let's get it straight again. Let's just paint this. Let's play. I walk in the house. My son is standing up by the couch. You are sitting up on the couch with your titties out, no bra, no shirt. I see my son fix his pants and run to the bathroom. I take the blanket off of your body and you are butterball naked. She tells me he took the towel off you and that's why you was naked. He tells you he was fucking your wife. Your eyes tell you you was fucking your wife. She tells you nothing happened. Who the fuck do you believe?
What my son said and what my eyes told me.
What the fuck is he talking about? What is wrong with this dude? What is he talking about? Bro, that don't make sense.
For more statements she made to you than the ones than the one that you told me. It's less a question of did it happen, and it's more a question of who egged it on.
Right.
Because whether or not it happened is not really in question at this point.
Okay.
So, that's why it'd be really important to help me understand where everybody's head was at the time that this occurred. But, if you're not wanting to really answer my questions right now, that's, not ideal, but it's okay. Right. You have, freedom of speech. As far as me calling you on the phone right now. and I'm not here trying to ruin your day. I'm just here trying to help your son, who has, nobody really advocating for him. And that's kind of a tough thing to see. But
Yes, sir.
if you change your mind, you'd like to give me a more complete statement, you're more than welcome to. You have my number, okay?
Okay. Well, thank you very much.
Yep. And again, I don't want to have ruined your day. Please don't let me have ruined your day. I hope you have a good day, and thank you for the work that you do.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right. Yep. Bye-bye.
Now, detectives end up speaking with the father again on December 3rd, 2024. And this time, he spoke much more openly. He first described the unsettling events leading up to the night that he came home, recalling how Alexis went from having a negative attitude toward his son to suddenly wanting him around a lot more.
One thing I wanted to point out was before this had happened, she had a very negative attitude towards him. Basically didn't want him to be here. When we would talk about him coming down, it was, can he be here for a week? Can he be here for 2 weeks? Not 3 weeks or a month, or not for the whole summer. Of course, that was like off the table. And then, so he was here for, I think, about 3 weeks. He was supposed to go home. She was basically wanting him to stay another week longer, which I thought was very odd. There was a lot of things that I thought that was very odd in that last week, as far as all of a sudden how she flipped a switch to like how she viewed him and what was going on. I had an uncomfortable feeling in my gut about it. So did other people.
The father described what he says was a shocking scene when he came home, detailing the moment he discovered his own son and wife in a sexual situation.
It's the handle. I walk in and I look over to my left and I see her sitting down. Her boobs are out. She's naked. And he was standing up, basically in a position where it looked like his waist level was at her head level. So I think she was performing oral sex when I walked in the door.
You think so? You think she was performing oral sex? Now, like 6 months, it took you about 6 months to come to the, and you know what? She was sucking his dick. That's what it was. She had to be. I figured it out. That's what it was.
No, he been new.
He said other people that witnessed their relationship even pointed out to him, bro, I think your wife fucking your son.
Oh, man.
You embarrassed to talk to the police about this shit. Is it on record? But your homeboys already pointed out to you. Wow. Yeah, I think your wife fucking your son, dog. You might need to check up on that, bro. You might need to. Nah, John, you know she's just friendly like that. She's just real nice. She went from, nah, man, Buddy can't be here this long. I'm gonna be uncomfortable. I can't walk around the house like I want to. You know how, the kids, they young, so I could walk around the house naked still. He gonna be here. He 15. I gotta be dressed. You know what, man? You know what? Let him stay another week. Yeah. Let him stay another week.
Crazy.
Now you figured out. Yeah, she was. Come on, bro. Like, make this shit make sense. Frank, you a fucking dummy, bro.
Were you able to see like his?
No, I wasn't.
Okay.
You're obviously not walking in the door like.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
And then he immediately, what I think has happened is he pulled up his pants. It kind of looked like he pulled up his pants a little bit, jetted off to the bathroom. I go over to her, and I'm immediately like, obviously I see her breasts are out, and I'm like, what the going on? I say that probably 20 different times. Like, what the going on? She has this stupid expression on her face, just like a bewildered expression on her face. Doesn't say anything the entire time this is going on. She has a blanket over top of her lap. I go over there, and I'm basically like, surely to God, she's not naked. And so I walk over to her. Still, she's not saying anything. Bewildered look on her face. And I snatch the blanket off of her lap, and she is butt-assing. At that point, I'm like, just shocked. I know basically that something's been going on. So he comes out of the bathroom at this point. We're talking about stuff that's going on. I don't think she was really saying anything. And I said, I won't need you to come outside with me right now. My son, I'm like, I bring him out there and I'm basically like, please, God, tell me exactly what's going on, exactly what happened, because I want to know. I don't think she was really saying anything. And I said, I won't need you to come outside with me right now.
Did he say Connor?
You say
Connor?
Just shocked. I know basically that something's been going on. So he comes out of the bathroom at this point. We're talking about stuff that's going on. I don't think she was really saying anything. And I said, I won't need you to come outside with me right now. My son, I'm like, I bring him out there and I'm basically like, please, God, tell me exactly what's going on, exactly what happened, because I want to know everything that happened. And he proceeded to tell me that they had both had oral sex on each other. I felt like he was still hiding stuff. At that point, she's kind of coming back and forth outside the house to talk to me. And, I'm obviously not wanting anything to do with her. And then the one thing that struck me the most when this was all happening was she tried to come out there and basically say that it wasn't as bad as it looked, I looked her right in the eye. I said, "You," and she looked right at me and said, "Oh, I forgot you knew that." Was exactly what she said.
What? What'd she say?
I forgot you knew that. Knew what? Because they bleeped it out.
Maybe he said you fucking slut.
Yeah. I forgot you knew that.
What the fuck? She gaslit the fuck out of him.
Then I took him to my dad's house, and it's just been a huge ordeal ever since, which I regret the fact that I didn't just call the cops immediately.
And the father said that Alexis tried to excuse her actions as just a loss of control. He says he didn't believe her.
She tries to act like she had just, lost control and blacked out or didn't know what was going on. And I'm like, you weren't even drinking, first of all. You're stone cold sober. There's so many details leading up to that night. It's just, it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Basically her attitude and everything that since this has happened, I'm just like, I'm done with trying to, I don't want to say protect her, but I'm done with the whole situation. I just wanted to do it.
Well, and all that should happen, right, is that the truth should come out. And that's what's going to allow everyone to move on. Everyone tells the truth, and then we can move on, right? Whatever that's going to entail, we'll get through that, and then life will continue. Now, did you have further conversations with her about it? Did she admit to anything beyond the oral to you?
No, she did not. I don't believe her at all. Just my gut feeling, like I said again, I think that they had sex. But no, she would never admit that to me.
Did she make any statements to you about why it happened?
Yeah. She said multiple times she's told me how much he looked at me.
Just generally or specifically?
No, what she had told me was that it was kind of dark and that he looked so much like you.
Okay.
Type of thing. I know what she said to the other girls.
Okay, but she never made any comments about his anatomy or anything like that.
No, not to me.
Okay.
Obviously, I had heard what she had told the other girls, had confronted her about that many times, and she basically said, which I already knew, she wasn't doing it in like a braggadocious way. She was doing it in a way that was trying to defend her actions and what she did.
Mm-hmm.
The things he was saying, the size of his blah blah blah, you know. Like basically, like he seemed older and more mature than he was.
So what happened? Well, Alexis Von Yates was originally charged with lewd or lascivious battery, but then prosecutors upgraded that charge to sexual battery by a person in familial custody. That's a first-degree felony carrying up to life in prison. The fallout didn't stop there, though, because in April of 2025, the Florida Department of Health suspended her nursing license. In their words, Miss Yates' decision to engage in sexual activity with a minor child and or her decision to allow a child to engage her in oral and penetrative sex indicates that she lacks the good judgment and moral character necessary to...
It took 1.5 years for them to finally do that. It took 1.5 years for them to finally suspend her license after this allegation first even came out and she first was charged with this.
Well, there's rules, and she had to obviously get convicted first, and then that.
Convicted? She ain't been convicted yet.
Oh shit! Okay.
She been accused of this. This been out. They been knowing this. They been knowing about this.
Interesting.
It took 1.5 years for her to get her license suspended. She was still nursing and shit. That's crazy.
Serious danger to health, safety, and
be a registered nurse. Therefore, Miss Yates' continued practice as a nurse presents a risk of immediate, serious danger to the health, safety, and welfare of the public. And then came the official sentencing. So instead of heading to trial on September 16th, 2025, Alexis Von Yates stood in court and agreed to a plea deal. She avoided a life sentence. She pleaded guilty to that lesser charge, lewd or lascivious battery on a child aged 12 to 16. And her sentence, 2 years in state prison, 10 years probation, 200 hours of community service with Marion County Solid Waste Litter Control. She has to register as a sex offender, no contact with the victim.
Her whole upgraded lifestyle came crumbling down.
This is how she looks. I don't know. I'll be confused because sometimes I guess the filters be fucking blowing people out of proportion, making them look a whole hell of a lot different for real. But this is how she looks. She look crazy as fuck. She look like she'll probably do some crazy shit. She like she'll go do some crazy shit. But 2 years out of a life sentence.
For not taking it to
and 10 years of probation.
Mm-hmm.
And lifetime on the sex offender list. That's not gonna fucking matter to her because she'll fuck around and get married to some other guy when she gets out. She'll get a pen pal while she's in there and then she'll get married. Because her story is so public.
She made good money herself. I mean, in general. But like I said, her whole upgrade lifestyle came crumbling down because she doesn't.
What can she do now? She gonna be in the warehouse.
What she gonna do now? That's why I said she can't do nothing now. Her whole lifestyle came crumbling down.
She about to go to work at the warehouse at the seafood spot down there in Florida somewhere. She probably get up out of Florida though. She probably get up out of Florida because nah. Somebody about to take her in. She gonna be married when she get out. Watch what I tell you. Give her about 3 years, she'll be married.
During her entire sentence, the judge said he signed off on the plea in part to spare the victim from having to testify in open court, writing that forcing him to recount these traumatic details in front of a jury would cause, quote, undue re-traumatization. The victim's mother told the court that Alexis was a coward and an incestuous pedophile. She also said her son's relationship with his father has been destroyed, claiming the two haven't spoken since all this happened. Alexis Von Yates, once a trusted nurse, she is now a convicted sex offender, serving prison time, stripped of her license, her career, and according to her own family members.
2 years. She don't look like that in that mug shot. That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't understand what the hell be going. Is those maybe that's why. Maybe I didn't recognize that her ear actually is gauged or something. Because that she looks so. She looks so different in that mug shot, bro. Even in this one.
Yeah, people be having rough days, babe.
Yeah, I guess that's the gauge though. I don't know. Anyway,
her ear is gauged though.
Let's get back into this update real quick on this. Did he do it? Did he didn't? What his sentence is. I don't think they got to the sentencing part, but we got a lot of stuff we can catch up on for sure. Where were we at? Here we go. So AUSA is still speaking Slavic. He says, Mia said she got PTSD and anxiety. Deontay Nash said he was caused lasting damage. Capricorn Clark says he blacklisted her once she spoke up. Chef Jordan Atkinson wrote how she was impacted. It was real and serious. He downplays the abuse, calling it rare, but it was not rare. Cassie's testimony was that he was violent with her at any time. It was not mutual. You saw no photos of the defendant with injuries. He blames doctors for prescriptions. He pretends he is the victim. He hasn't accepted responsibility for his criminal conduct. The information provided to his expert was incomplete. He will pose a danger at any age. He choked Jane at 54 years old. Prostitution causes other problems. It happens out of public view. General deterrence is needed. Send a message to all victims and to the public that this defendant's crimes are serious. You can encourage or discourage abusers. At least 135 months are necessary. Judge says, let's take a break. Oh, what you think about what the AUSA said? What you think about what she's saying? I mean, what you think? What you think about what she's saying? Do you agree? You disagree? Do you think?
I feel like he should get some time.
135 months, which is equivalent to 11 years or less.
Yeah, he need to go sit his ass down a little bit. Yeah, 11 years. Let's do it.
11. Let's do it. All right. They're back at 11:51. They came back, so we are about an hour behind. They've come back, and it's Combs' lawyer Driscoll. I'm grateful, Your Honor, to you being so permissive with the microphone for us today. I'm going to talk about sentencing disparities. A blind reliance on the guidelines can create disparities. The DOJ has long said that Mann Act prosecutions should focus on the commercial cases. Sean Combs did not make a penny from this. The Jordan case, it's not comparable. He served 8 years in Cuba for sex crimes. That was his second chance. Jordan made 1.4 million. Do you know how many sex acts that is? Okay, I think that's how.
Yeah.
He had over 100 clients. Mr. Combs' offense is nothing like that. 3 of Jordan's victims reported unwanted sex. 1 was raped after being drugged. No, as Combs' lawyer Driscoll goes on about U.S. versus Dylan Jordan, Inner City Press has set up an extra about the case, which it covered on this. Okay, cool, whatever. There is another case with 7 victims. No grouping enhancement applied. Defendant got 18 months, was released after 9 months. Then there's 18 CR 2376 from the SDFL. They generated 1.8 million. They got 15 months. In John cases, the average sentence is 6 to 7 months. In this other case, the defendant texted the victim, I meant what I said about making a mold of your pussy. The rest of you ain't worth shit. Judge says, but there was no threat of violence in that case. Driscoll says, Ms. Slavic just blamed Mr. Combs for having a drug problem for 25 years. We think it's inappropriate and is a mitigating factor. Let's talk about 13 CR 294, District of Oregon. The defendant paid for a session with a young girl. See DKT 85. The defendant, Riggs, got 24 months. It was more heinous that this case, 3553A6, says to avoid unwarranted sentencing disparities, I've read all 900 Mann Acts cases available on Pacer. His case is different. Judge says, who's next? Ms. Westmoreland? I've heard enough of this shit. Westmoreland says, I want to focus on the inspiration Mr. Combs has given through his life and on the commitment he made while in the MDC. Mr. Combs was successful, but he used it to help others. He touched many more lives than I can cover in the next minutes. There were not many Black-owned labels. Mr. Combs had the audacity. It sent a message that you can do it. Clothing too. It was just not urban streetwear. It was upscale. It brought unity. It inspired change. It spirits. Our community finally had a seat at the table, a voice, a real voice. Then there was revolts. There was revolts. Then there was revolt. Where are we at? Let's see. Oh, Shiza. That's it? He's trying to help. He opened 3 charter schools in neighborhoods where the schools were not good. The motto was Black excellence. The youth are our future. Mr. Combs personally inspired me. I went to a live event in DC. Mr. Combs was there. He said, listen, everyone, she's crying. I'm sorry, he said. Don't be afraid to dream. Just remember to wake up and put actions behind your dreams. And then he said, don't forget to help others. That changed my life. Mr. Combs is just a man, and he made some mistakes. He has some flaws like we all do. But how many of us can say that we've helped so many lives, countless lives? We've been in jail. He's remorseful. I spend every day speaking with him. In MDC, Mr. Combs started asking people their dreams. That's how Free Game for Diddy was born. Free game from Diddy, I was assuming. No one's done this in the NDC before. Sheen taught Chinese in MDC, then got 15 years for Fanol. That's why he made that point. There is no benefit in warehousing Mr. Combs in prison. Thank you. Mr. Steele, this is the defense. This is the man, the myth, the legend. Mr. Steele says, we wanted his children to come up, then show the video. Please come forward. My name is Quincy Brown. He's my father. Quincy Brown says, he is transformed. He will not jeopardize his freedom again. As his children, we wish to heal together. Next, my name is Justin Combs. I ask you, give my father a second chance. My father is my superhero. My father always told me to believe in God. Justin Combs. I talk to my fathers every day, every other hour. Next, I am Christian Combs. I am the one who most resembled my pops. My mannerisms, my whole life, I studied my dad up and down. He's the greatest man in the world, my superhero. Oh man, I don't know if he wanted to say that. They glazing this. They glazing, boy. They glazing, boy. That shit's so funny. He's my superhero.
Terrible.
Do we got anything? Oh, Christian, so he told me to treat women like a queen, and I do. I see in his eyes as his twin that he has changed. My name is Jesse Combs, and I'm 18 years old. She cries. When my mother died, I was just a little girl. I remember my dad sitting us down. That's the one that might touch him a little bit. That one right there. The daughter talking, that one that might touch her, pull at some heartstrings for you.
For sure.
That girl is crazy. I swear she crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no.
Selfishness. The old me died in jail and a new version of me was reborn. Prison will change you or kill you. I choose to live. He also apologized for the harm and the pain that he has caused the victim. The first time he has done that since all of these allegations came to light. He had said, and specifically to Cassie Ventura, where the jury had seen many times the video of Combs kicking and dragging her on that hotel surveillance tape. He said of Cassie, the scene and the images of me assaulting Cassie play over and over in my head daily. I'm sorry for that and always will be. My domestic violence will always be a heavy burden that I will have to forever carry. Combs will be speaking to the judge, laying out what his position is. He is hoping to get a sentence of time served, essentially be let out after being in jail for about 12 months since his arrest. His family is expected to be here to support him as they have throughout the trial. But then there will be argument from the attorneys as they're both trying to jockey for their positions. The prosecution wants to send a message. They want to reinforce that they think that Combs is a violent person and should not be walking out of the courthouse anytime soon. Sarah?
Yeah, the wide array of what's being asked for. Prosecutors asking for 11 years. His attorney's asking for 14 months. We will see what happens. I know you will be there. I think, Carrie, you spent more time in court than most lawyers. You know your stuff. Really appreciate it. John?
All right. Joined by CNN legal analyst and defense attorney Joey Jackson. This video produced by Combs' team, the letter he wrote to the judge. How much of a difference does this kind of stuff really make?
So, John, good morning. I think it makes a significant difference, and this is why. If you look at sentencing, what are the cores? The cores are punishment, deterrence, and rehabilitation. Now, how do you get there is you want to know if he's going to speak, that is Combs, is he owning it? What are the three factors there? Are you contributing in its impact on others? Are you then accountable for what you did? And are you saying you're accountable without blaming anybody else? No, it wasn't anybody else. It was you. I think the letter does that. And then the last component is about the rehabilitation. What have you focused outside of jail? And so this, in addition to the video suggesting who he is as an individual, could make a difference. The issue, as you know, is how big of a difference it'll make, because a judge not only has to balance what he says, the judge has to evaluate the conduct, has to evaluate the issues with regard to the victims that were victimized by him, and come to a just and appropriate sentence, which is going to happen today.
It's interesting that Combs seems to address the violence head on here, because that, we understand, is what the prosecution is going to lean.
We got a couple more. He said, I remember my dad sitting us down, Jesse Combs, it helped me survive when I was just my mom, when I wanted my mom. Next. My name is Chance Combs, his daughter. He's changed. She cries. Sorry, he speaks with a clear mind. Next, my name is Delilah Combs. We watched our 2-year-old sister. She cannot grow up fatherless. Oh, man. They pulling at the heartstrings.
It's conduct that he was acquitted of, but it goes to the nature, the background, the history of his characteristic as a defendant. So look for whether the judge limits the sentencing to what he was convicted of. right? Those two charges relating to transportation for prostitution, or whether the judge is really all inclusive with regard to all these other issues that he was not convicted of.
Karasino reporting this could drag into Monday at this point, but it all gets started very soon. Joey Jackson, counsel, you'll be here for all of it. Thank you so much. Sarah?
In the next hour, it is the sentencing for Sean Diddy Combs today. And you may remember he was convicted on 2 counts of transportation to engage in prostitution. Each count carries a possible prison sentence of up to 10 years. He was cleared of more serious charges of sex trafficking and racketeering conspiracy. So next hour, we are expecting to hear more. Laura Coates joins me outside the courthouse. And as we understand it, the defense is expected to show a video.
Yeah. They can dragging out.
Sit down for a little bit.
Yeah, for sure. But anyways, I'm about to hop up out of here. It's been real. It's your boy Jay, and I'm about to sign out. Peace in the Middle East, as they always say, or as they used to say.